Hey exiles, how we doing? It's Mr. A2G and we are back playing some Saga of Survival. How are we going, guys? Alright, so we have gone through an update and unfortunately I wasn't able to record this or do anything about it up until now, so we'll get it today, we'll go through it today, and we'll talk about it as I'm in the Dark Woods at the moment, if you guys haven't noticed, or if you're not too sure which zone that I'm currently in. So the reason for this is I'm in the need for a lot of wood and a lot of oak. So yeah, hence the reason why I'm here, and this is the reason why that we're going to be doing the video in the location today. Anyway, so 1.12.5 got updated early in the week. So what they've done is they've done this before. I think this is the second, possibly third time that they've done this. It's a split update, so they haven't released the full update. Now the next full update is going to be definitely 1.13, and we're going to hopefully get some new additions in that update. But for now, we're going to focus on the 12.5 update, and we'll sort of go through it, just a little bits and pieces here. There's not too much to sort of go through, so I figured while we're in the zone doing our thing, may as well talk about it whilst we're doing it. So I know there's some of you guys that are not too fond of me just plastering notes and things like that and not doing much of gameplay. So here's your gameplay while I talk about patch notes. Alright, so with the 12.5 update, basically they've split it into two parts, which is the first part that we've got now, and then the full release when it comes out. So full release is probably going to be next month. I wouldn't think it's going to be this month. I'll be surprised, to be honest with you. It is mid-month, so if they do it, fantastic. If they don't, look, I would definitely think it's going to come out next month, but we'll be lucky, I reckon, if we will get it during this month. So with that out of the way, basically what they've done is they've implemented a couple of things. So the reward system for watching videos, so they finally got onto that. I wouldn't say it's a bandwagon, but it's more a pretty much the norm for basically mobile games at this point in time. So more or less, if you want to sort of, you know, recharge certain things, or if you'd like to get any sort of free gifts and things like that, this is where the reward system comes into play. So basically, I've been using it throughout the time since the update obviously has come through, but you get a few little goodies here and there. So as soon as my exile here is open up the barrel, I'll definitely want to open that up. Feel free to have a read of that one there, guys. Okay, and yeah, basically here we got this smuggler individual, and basically he'll come from time to time, anywhere between 2.5 to 4 hours. So I've actually had to wait 4 hours before the next refresh in one instance. So hasn't been a continuous thing, but I've had that happen before. So but usually it's been about 2.5 hours. So with that, look, it is what it is, but it's free stuff. So it does a few things. It basically, you know, urges you to log back in every couple of hours just to receive your free gift, which, look, it's a good thing, but it's also something good for the devs as well, or for the game itself. So what I mean by that is more login, and, you know, for players playing the game, more chances than not that you guys will spend more time in game and possibly spend money if that's going to be the thing. But this is just one way that developers in general would, you know, sort of try and help raise revenue by adding free things into the game, which is not a bad thing. I mean, look, if you guys like this game and you enjoy playing it, I mean, obviously you want to support the developers for that. And you know, I for myself would be one of those people that would do that. And you know, if there's something that's of interest for me and I do want to make a purchase, I'll make a purchase. So that's just, you know, my opinion with that. I'm not too sure how you guys feel about that, so let me know in the comments down below. But So basically, whoop, let's just get out of your way and little distance. There we go. Oop. Taking you out. Doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, so basically each player will have the open up at least up to 4 chests per day. That's what they're sort of touting it to be. And the chests will refresh with, every 2.5 hours. As I said, I've seen it happen that I had to wait up to 4 hours for one refresh. It is what it is. You won't be able to do more 4 chests in a day. In order to open the chest, you need to watch a small ad. So it's up to you to decide. I guess in a sense, by doing that, it also gives you the opportunity to choose as well, so which is a good thing. So you get 3 cards, they flick over, and then you decide what you want to take. So it's not a random thing. It's not completely wasting your time because you see what's going to be there. So it's up to you. You spend 30 seconds or so watching an ad, whether you do or you don't. You just sit it on the table and you just walk away, come back once it's done. That's up to you guys. That's all on you. And personally for me, I just sit there. I don't even look at it. I'll try and occupy myself for 30 seconds. It's 30 seconds, but there's something to do for 30 seconds before that finishes. And then you basically just come back to it, pick your selection, and away you go. You keep moving on. There's really not too much, to it aside from that. But a lot of the things that I've seen that's listed there, it's not necessarily always going to be the things that are going to come up as an availability. So if I go back to it real quick, when you see the possible reward system there, it's exactly like the zones. It tells you what you might get, but not necessarily that's all you're going to get, if that makes sense. So there might be possible chances, depending on how the mechanics for this has been implemented, whether or not excuse me, will you get different type of rewards that's not listed there. So I've come across a couple of things that weren't listed. I've had I think charcoal's not listed there. I've gotten that, and a couple of other little bits and pieces. So just to sort of point something out. And the other reason why I say that is it also points to the fact that you can get stable items, which is a good thing. So you might potentially even uncover one of the cards that have a stable item that you might need. And you might even just say, well, I might as well take that, as opposed to running through a dungeon and putting yourself through your paces. And even let's just heal up. Sorry guys. I've got something stuck in my throat there, so not a good thing. So yeah, basically with that, so just a little reward system just to help you out, and it's free rewards. So depending on how often you guys log in per day, if you do it on a daily basis, even if it's just once a day, you're going to be presented with a free gift, but also you're going to get your daily reward login as well. So there's gifts flying everywhere, and that's a good thing. I can't even tell you how many games that I've come across. That is some nice loot. Yeah, so who doesn't enjoy free rewards each and every time that you guys log in? So you know what my advice is, guys, just take advantage of it. It's just something that we get for nothing, so why not? I've been saying that for the longest time with all the other free gifts that we do get in the game, so why not? And that brings me to my next point with the clans and things like that. It's the same situation. You basically play the game and you get rewarded regardless. So as I said, I think this is probably one of the finer games that I've come across that still rewards you, even though that the game is, and to some people's quotation would be, a grinding style game. So yeah, you do get a bit of a grind element to it, but you still get rewarded for this. And as I said before, compared to other games that I've played in the past, and other survival games in particular, this would be one of those games that you get rewarded more for your for your efforts. And I think that's what, I think that goes a long way. That's just my personal opinion on it. I don't know what you guys are feeling about it, but, again, let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. But we're going to digress away from the reward system. I think I've spent way too much time talking about that anyway. As soon as this came up, when I saw this, the patch notes on their Facebook developer page, the tweaked hunger and thirst mechanics, this... I don't know what to tell you guys, but I felt this was one interesting element that people sort of freaked out about, which, look, at first glance, I don't blame you guys, but when you sort of stop and think about it, it's not a big deal. And what I mean by that is, I'm just going to read it out for you guys anyway. So, maintain your hunger and thirst above 0, and we're slightly changing the mechanics in the way that you now lose HP even if you're offline, okay? Sounds bad? Not really. In contrast, that you'll no longer die from hunger or thirst, as your HP can't drop below 1 hit point, unless you get hit by an enemy, of course. We believe this should balance the things up and put everyone onto equal conditions. So, ooh, nice, I got double faction notes, which is always good. Have a bit of a read, guys, if you need to pause it. That's 1, and this is number 2. Very good. Anyway, yeah, so the moment that this came out, people started reading the patch notes, they freaked out about it. And look, days have passed, which is fine, and I think hopefully now everyone's sort of calmed down about it, or, actually read it and, absorbed it, understood it a little bit more than what was previously conceived. So, all that this is if your HP is 0, or your thirst and hunger values are 0, you're going to lose HP even if you're offline. But you're not going to die. I mean, that would be silly in a sense if, you would die and you're not online to sort of save your player. I mean, how silly would that be? So, the fact that they've said, look, we're going to leave you at 1 HP, says it all. There's not too much that you're going to... okay, so awesome. That's all been upgraded. Yeah, so you're not going to basically... Oop, I need to kill some more enemies. And yeah, oop, where did you come from? I think I would have come across you. Anyway. Actually, by the way, before I go any further, hats off to this purple star Pyromancies ring. This is bloody ridiculous. If you look at the durability on this, 896. This thing, full HP, has got 1,000 hit points. That is insane. I mean, you can use this for a very long time before you have to switch to another weapon. I mean, the attack power, the wall damage, all that sort of stuff, and obviously the durability, you could basically keep repairing this thing, and this would be one of the only items that you'd want to use, especially if you're like, anywhere between level 30 to level 50, just to point that out. But anyway, I'm digressing, sorry guys. I just wanted to point that out. I think it's just an awesome bit of hardware. Anyway, so yeah, anyway, I'm just going to let my exile do his thing. He's just going to, chop some wood, because I need some wood and oak. Anyway, going back to it, you guys don't have to worry about this. I mean, your exile is going to be 1 hit point if you guys are going to be away from the game for X amount of time, however long that may be. I mean, you put in, some cooked meat, or, a water skin or a water cast, you're fine. What they're trying to do is they're trying to increase the, the cost per, per running the game, or you're running your player. And when you think about it, it's not a great deal. You're not investing way too much into it, and to the point where you only put in a couple of bit of heals, some water, and you're good to go again, and away you go. So with that being said, I mean, I don't understand why people are freaking out about it. If you just actually read it, you would understand. So I don't know, I just felt like I should point that out. I mean, if you're really worried about it, and you're really worried about using your HP, or sorry, your heals and things like that, if you've got the bed, use the bed, your exile will be healed 100% and away you go. Yes, it takes about 24 hours for it to cycle back and for you to reuse that bed again, but you know, if that's what you're worried about, why don't you use the bed? That's just my opinion on that. Anyway, enough about that, because I'm going to start ranting and I really don't want to do that today. Anyway, all that they've done is they've optimized the gameplay, so smoother gameplay, better experience, more stable gameplay with bug fixes. And the bug fix with reward chest fix, it refers to the error couldn't open chest, user has only X points, but XX are required. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I still get the factions little emblem things that you find when you've done a couple of feats, that you've killed X amount of enemies, all that sort of stuff. I have had the error report login, whatever it might be. I don't know if you guys have copped that as well. I mean, for me, simple thing is I leave the body of the enemy, walk back to it, pick it up, and then use it. Or you can still put it in your own inventory, and then get out of that little menu screen, run around for like literally 2 seconds, go back into it, claim it, and it's done. So it's not a bad a bad bug. I mean, it's an annoying bug, don't get me wrong, but I'm not too particularly worried about it myself personally. I'm sure they'll fix that up in the future update, but what can you do? But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the new patch. They've already got up to, at the time of this recording, to the 1.12.7, so they've jumped a couple of little notches there. And I think that's just more optimization, because I think there was a couple of initial bugs upon release. But the reason why they do this, and I think it's a good thing as well, is they don't do a massive update and causes everything to crash, and then they have to go back to the drawing board and try and fix it straight away. Whereas if they introduce certain elements into the inventory's full, that's fine. I'm just going to quickly run back. Okay, and yeah, so sorry. Basically, if they do more or less, where's my? Oh, that's right. I'm all the way over here. There we go. Yeah, so based on all of that, I mean, it's good that they do this. They half release everything, make sure everything's running fine, and then obviously once it's time to go with the full release, they go ahead and do that. So take it as you will, guys. That's just my opinion with it. I think it's a good thing. Plus, it sort of keeps us, entertained in a sense, engaged, hooked, if you will. Half releasing one update and then updating the full release at a later stage. You don't have to wait once a month or however long it might be in between, updates. So I think it's a good thing, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. But this is going to go ahead and leave it for today, guys. I thank you guys for watching every single time, so I'm going to do that once more. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are new, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos that I pop up on this channel. Like and comment, guys. Show me the love with that with the like button as much as you can. Let's get this video up the recommended page. Otherwise, that's it. Enjoy your weekend. Catch you next time.